we need to change the theme of this conference. It's called Fuel the Disruption. But many of you are in the fuel business, and fuel is only as good as what? The furnace, the fire in the furnace, right? So Lennox has given you all kinds of fuel over the last couple of days, but it's not going to do any good if we don't flip the switch on the furnace and fire up. So we're going to fire up the disruption. So how are we going to do it? It's going to come from you, nobody else. Lennox can give you all the fuel you want, but you're going to have to decide when you leave here, show back up to work on Monday morning, what are you going to flip the switch on? What are you going to take? What are you going to fire up in your company to go to the next level? That's what I want to talk to you about. Just like a doctor showing a little boy that he's got small lungs and should learn to play chess. Or just like a doctor saying, this is how long you can stay in water before you get hypothermic. But this one, these instructors, they were accountants. They were bankers. But it was the same thing. They were taking your focus and getting them to focus on what was important to them. But what's important to you? I didn't want 30 days. I just needed 300 days. That's all I needed. If I had 300 days, I could pay them back. And they wanted to focus me on paying them back on pennies on the dollar. They were willing to negotiate way down from 8.8. I said, I'm not going to take that. I want you to focus on 300 days, and I'll give you every red cent back. And we went and found some consultants, and our team came together, and we focused on making that happen. Because when you focus on something and you attach a meaning with that feeling, you'll take an action that will be different than what they were trying to get you to focus on. And while we did that, I also had to focus on myself because I thought we were in the push-up, pull-up, sit-up business. But actually, we needed to do a lot more. We needed to go into calorie monitors, and we needed to go into resistance bands, and we went into cooling towels and perfect water bottles. We had over 100 products, 8 feet of shelf space by the time we finally got through that. This wasn't a hell week. These were hell years. And anybody that's been running a business knows what I'm talking about. 2.9 miles. That's how far you can see. If you're a 6-foot tall person standing essentially on the water, that's how far you can see before the curvature drops off, right? When I asked you that question in the beginning, hey, what would you do if you knew you'd succeed? Where would your business be? How far past that horizon would it be? My suspicion is it would be far past the horizon. When we dream out loud in our company, we'd say we want to impact 100 million people. It's way past the horizon. You have no idea how you're going to get there. And that's understandable because when you're looking at the horizon, the area that you focus on the most, that's the comfort zone. That's the known area, right? That's where your brain wants to keep focusing. When you come to this conference and you go, yep, oh yeah, I want to stay here and start talking about quantum coils, or I want to talk about Lennox Pros because I've been using that a lot. I know exactly what to do, but Lennox Pros goes, yeah, but have you been using the CRM piece of this? Like, ooh, well, that's past the horizon, right? That area is the unknown area. And that's the area that's hard. And it's so hard because you don't know what's out there. It's that scary area. It's the area where there could be sharks, there can be competition, you know it's coming, but you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision to adjust your focus to go past the horizon. But I end with a story for 2 points. Point number one. Point number one is we're all packing our own chutes. This whole conference is helping you put more in your chute. It's giving you a couple more folds. You can't take it all. You can take 1 or 2, maybe 3 things that will help push you past that horizon. And they'll require you to disrupt yourself, And it will have to come from within inside, but it will become up to you. And remember that letter I talked about? You see, the fact is, that letter is going to get written for all of us, one way or the other. And what are they going to write in that letter about you? They're going to write about three things. What'd you focus on? How did you make them feel? And what actions did you take? That's what that letter is going to happen. And God willing, that letter's not going to come for a real long time. It's called an obituary. But that's what it's about, right? That's the only thing we've got. Our mental, our emotional, and our physical. Now, part 2 is how to leave the airplane. You see, they want you to leave one particular way. The first way is exactly what he did to me. They can push you, they can kick you, they'll tackle you. As long as you're saying you're going to jump, by the way, there were people that said, I'm not going to jump. That means you quit. You go to the front of the aircraft, they land, and they process you out. You can do that. It's volunteer force, which, by the way, every one of us is a volunteer in our own companies. And all the people who work with us, they're all volunteers. Or you can do it this way, and I've seen this happen. Somebody walk up to the edge of the ramp like a child on a diving board, getting a little closer to the water, and they put 1 foot 6 inches closer to earth. So 13,999 feet and 6 inches is just that much better. Are you kidding me? Well, they eventually get pushed off, right? No, that's not the way they want you to go. The way they want you to go is like this. Head first. You coming off that ramp. Do you know how powerful it is when you're in the front of the aircraft and the last person to go out and everybody is going head first right out of that airplane? When you go head first, you can't do anything but go all in. That is the way you have to approach it. That's the way you approach the focus, the feeling, the action. The only way you get beyond the horizon, all in, all the time. You go all in. Lennox is going all in with you. They're saying, you go with me, we go together, we win, your customers win, you win. That's what it's all about. Make 2018 unstoppable. You go all in all the time. Thank you, and have a great rest of your conference.